don't want no fuss and we don't want to hurt you, alright?
Yeah, we just want your money, that's all.
And you'll give it to us, won't you, without any fuss?
Echinase!
Okay. That's nice. Oh, what a lovely way to start. Oh. Okay. Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Well, last time we finished up Chapter 1, and today we're starting up Chapter 2, The Fire Witch, in which apparently Espella is going to be accused of being a witch. What is this place? The room is lit, but it's still somehow dark, and the atmosphere feels heavy. Oh, hey there, Maya. How you doing today?
Nick, what are we doing in a place like this?
How should I know? So, okay, wait. So Professor Layton and Luke weren't brainwashed when they came here, but Phoenix and Maya were? Yikes, is it me or is that guard staring daggers at us right now? Espella? Yep.
Ah, Espella, what is going on? I'm sorry, I was one who sent for you both.
You sent for us?
I'm being put on trial.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know, I just don't understand what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. I couldn't possibly murder anyone. Murder?
Oh, yeah, that's the only time in this entire franchise that Maya would be surprised to hear that. That's par for the course in Ace Attorney, typically.
I beg you, Mr. Wright, please, I need your help just one more time.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Next thing I know, you'll be the defendant in every single case. Huh? You need my help? What could I possibly do? Espella, I'm just a baker. The only thing I know about law is how not to get on the wrong side of it.
Wait, hold on a sec, Espella. What did you just say? You said you needed Nick's help just one more time.
One more time?
I'm not quite sure myself, but when the knights came and took me, a vision suddenly appeared in my mind. It was Mr. Wright.
Objection music.
He was fighting for me, defending me, that brave blue figure, it was clear as day.
I was fighting for you? No way, that's impossible. I mean, it's like I already said. I'm just a baker. I've had a hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending someone in court.
I thought the same thing too at first, but I don't think that's quite true. You and Maya, at some time, somewhere, you helped me. You fought for me as a defender.
A defender?
What's wrong, Nick?
I wish I knew, Maya, but hearing Espella mention a defender, I can't help but feel something inside of me just burning at the mention of it. Accused, defender! It is time. Head forth, you two.
Head forth? Where are we going exactly?
To the courtroom in which today's trial will be taking place. The chamber. Oh, lovely. The Chamber of Fire, my favorite.
Chamber
of Fire? Make haste if you are but a moment late. A guilty verdict will be delivered immediately.
What?
Okay, so now, wow. Alright, we're reaching Kingdom of Orion levels of insanity here.
Mr. Wright, I'm truly sorry, Mr. Wright. I know this is all so sudden. It's a lost cause, isn't it?
Oh, trust me, we've defended more lost causes than this before. Well then, let's head inside, Espella.
Huh?
This overwhelming pressure, it feels so familiar somehow. Almost like deja vu.
Mr. Wright.
Let's go, Maya. Maybe we'll get a better idea once the trial gets underway.
Alright, let's do it. Let's do it to it, Nick.
Okay, I'm definitely a little confused as to what's... Oh.
What is this heat? It's like an oven in here.
I will now pronounce the verdict. This court finds the accused guilty of being a witch.
Wow. Straight up Kingdom of Orion. That might have...
I'm not a witch! Please!
Wait.
Please, I beg you to reconsider!
What are you doing?
I'm not...
Witches are to
What?
be cast straight into the hellfire!
What?
What?
No!
What?
This is the witch's court.
What? Wait. Welcome to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, apparently. What the... I was gonna say, hi, welcome to the Kingdom of Orion, but even the Kingdom of Orion wasn't that insane.
So how you feeling, Nick?
We just watched someone get burned alive. How do you think we're doing? I forgot what this felt like up until now. Huh? The butterflies in my stomach and tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. All these feelings. These are all feelings that I'm definitely familiar with. Anyway, we're here to fight for Espella and get her out of this place.
That's right.
The court is now in session for the trial of Espella Cantabella. Defender,
Yes, Your Honor?
yours is a face I've not seen in any past trial. But no matter. Start by stating your name, Defender.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Phoenix Wright, Ace Baker.
A baker?
I asked him to come, my lord. I want him to represent me. This court dictates that the accused is free to assign a defender of their choosing, my lord.
Very well. At any rate, the result of this trial shall not change. That aside, I've not yet seen hide nor hair of the Inquisitor assigned to this trial.
Inquisitor? Oh, right. I should have noticed earlier. No one's there.
Should the assigned Inquisitor fail to appear in court, I will have no choice but to dismiss all charges. He is an Inquisitor of high caliber, but if he does not come forward soon, this trial will end, and victory will then be declared in favor of this baker.
Hold it!
Oh? Someone dressed to impress. Knight in shining armor has arrived.
Knights of the court, I have but one question for you both. Are you prepared to cross swords?
I, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum, am indeed prepared to do battle, my lord.
Something amiss, Baker?
Phoenix is like,
Sorry, Your Honor. I just didn't realize we could have swords here in the
Phoenix, remember when Francisca brought a whip? Nothing should surprise you at this point.
It is the way of the court knight. A knight must always ensure that he rides with a blade at his side. Now then, state your name, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh? My name's Phoenix Wright. I'm a baker. How many times will you make me say it?
A baker?
Nick, quit with the long face. You look miserable.
No need to waste your breath. This trial will be over before you can utter a single objection.
Oh, that's cute. You think you stand a chance against us?
For the security of all of Labyrinthia, my blade shall rend your defenses swiftly and without mercy.
Yeah, good luck with that, pal.
That's it, Barnum. Put another one out of their misery. This trial's pointless. Hand on the verdict already. Okay, Kingdom of Karine. Put that doughy defender on trial too, I say.
Getting some very strong Kingdom of Karine vibes here. Oh boy, what's all this excitement? You'd hardly think this was a courtroom. The crowd doesn't seem very interested in law, that's for sure. It's like they're all just hoping for a guilty verdict. Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement.
As you wish, my lord. First, let us begin by recounting the event leading up to the murder. Is that acceptable, Sir Apprentice Baker?
As you wish.
The murder occurred this very evening. Yesterday there was heavy rainfall in the area, eventually gave way to sunshine, which came just in time for today's parade. Although a few hours after the parade ended, the rain set in once more.
That must have been when Espella and the others were at the Great Archive.
It continued to rain until just before the incident, which took place on a small path leading to the market. The accused had been out doing some shopping at the market. She returned home on that very same path. And on that forest path, two rogues named Robs and Muggs are said to have accosted the accused. One could assume that the accused simply acted in self-defense.
I see. Robs and Muggs, those two have appeared in court a number of times in the past. Two rogues, huh?
So far, it may appear that the accused was more the victim. However, the situation soon changed. That's right, the accused Espella Cantabella knowingly and mercilessly murdered her 2 assailants. Cantabella. That girl, isn't she? I always knew she looked suspicious. Shh, not so loud.
Yikes, there's that weird excitement again.
I believe we now fully grasp what happened. It is getting late already. Let us begin the trial. Inquisitor Barnum, you may now begin.
By the way, I was really convinced that that Professor Darklaw or whatever was going to be the one we faced off against.
As you wish, my lord. The Inquisition will now hear eyewitness testimony regarding the night of the murder.
Eyewitness testimony, huh? Looks like this trial is finally getting underway. I can't back down now, I have to fight. But I'm just a simple bread-making baker, living a simple bread-making life. The situation is more twisted than a pretzel, and I'm smack in the middle of it. But I have to do this to save Espella. Okay, let's see if I can untwist this testimony and put this thing to bed. It's never that simple. Although I'm still trying to wrap my head around the idea that you were... What? Last time I checked, this many people were not allowed to witness stand at once.
Allow me to welcome you all. Now, will each of you please state your name and occupation?
Hold it! Oh, wait a minute, what's going on here?
As I already explained, Sir Prentice Baker, this is the eyewitness testimony.
Yes, I understand that, but there are 4 witnesses.
Indeed, this many people inside the courtroom could pose a health and safety issue.
Your Honor, that's not quite what I meant. Witness testimony is supposed to be done one by one, as in 1 witness at a time.
What are you talking about, child? We'd be here all night if we did that.
I'm sure we're gonna be here all night anyway, trust me.
That's right, young man. We have witnessed the very hand of fate reach out to us this evening.
Oh, could we hurry this along, perhaps? These flowers won't solve themselves.
As much as my boss wishes they would.
Yeah, I'm calling it right now. Kira's gonna be Kira's the killer. Just her attitude's like,
Can you move this along?
I call it gut instinct or whatever, call it playing too many of these games. We have no evidence other than a gut reaction, but just her attitude in that one sentence is like, yeah, it's gonna be you.
The path to knighthood is an arduous one, but I remain steadfast in my resolve as I travel down this long road. I shall not falter, I will be victorious.
Who cares? Just question them all at once. We already know the girl in the cage again. Let's get on with it. Yeah, finish this up right now. Let's go back home and get to bed.
Like, I get that this game came out before Kingdom of Khura'in, but I mean... yeah.
Witnesses, again, state your names and occupations.
I am known as Warrensmith, but what is a name? How doth one describe an occupation? Like the bubbling of a babbling brook. I flow gracefully around the rocks and breathe that has life, nary a worry in my mind.
Oh, you're gonna be fun. Right, so I guess that means he's jobless.
My name is Mary, and this darling kid is Snowy. Snowy and I often travel to the edge of town and sell delicious fresh milk. Milk like that doesn't happen overnight. I work my hands to the bone, squeezing each drop out. Literally.
That sounds pretty frightening.
I'm Kira. I'm a flower seller, and I'm like totally the killer, by the way. If you would all be so kind, feel free to purchase one of my beautiful flowers at any time during the trial.
Wow. Very forthcoming in her sales tactics.
There's no way I'll sell them all by morning. Oh, the life of a flower girl is so hard.
It's absolutely you. Yeesh, talk about a hard sell. My name is Nilo. I am to join our town's order of knights. I study night and day, though I am still but a mere squire. Joining the Knights of the Inquisition is my life's ambition, and I, Nilo, will do whatever necessary to join. So he's jobless too.
Honorable witnesses, I ask that you show this court your best when delivering your testimonies. Now tell us what exactly you all saw on this ill-fated eve.
Witness testimony. What we saw tonight. Okay. This could be awesome. Or terrible. We're questioning multiple witnesses at once. We'll have to wait and see, but this could be awesome.
The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated the air in a soft light.
Okay, can you be, like, specific and not vague, superficial wording, please?
That'd make this a lot easier.
Mother's grabbed the girl by the arm, but like he almost pushed her to the ground. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those 2 villainous men burst into flames.
There was not a trace of fire to be seen in the area.
Well, okay, well, we know that's not true because she was carrying a lantern. Magic?
Sir Apprentice Baker, you may now begin your interrogation. I have but one piece of advice. I suggest you pay it heed. Do not waste the court's time by grilling these witnesses over irrelevant nonsense, Sir Apprentice Baker.
Are you alright, Nick? They sure love calling you an Apprentice Baker, huh?
I'll be honest with you, Maya. I have no idea how I'm feeling right now, but I know it's all up to me. As her defender, Espella's fate is in my hands. I have to believe in her. I need to start believing in myself. I can do this. I believe Espella is innocent, and I'll fight until the end to prove it.
Yeah, that's the spirit. We can do this thing, Nick.
And that's the spirit. Cross-examination. Okay, so how does this work? I guess they all talk one at a time, so I can just progress through it like a normal testimony. Buddy, you're gonna have to be way more specific than that.
Hold it!
What time would that be exactly?
Dinner time. What else would the scent of dinner be in the air? Not dinner time. Do you see?
Not so much.
The sun had already set by that time. That should be adequate.
The sun had already set? So you clearly witnessed what happened tonight, is that correct?
I have been dubbed a witness, as I must clearly witness something, do you see?
In that case, how much light was there in the immediate area at that time?
Enough to see the nose on my face, but not enough to see the trees ahead. Do you see?
No, that doesn't add up. If the area was completely dark, then you couldn't possibly have witnessed anything. Do you see?
Nevertheless, something caught my eye. It was a most ominous sight. Ominous is what that sight was.
Okay, I get it was ominous, but just tell me what the hell you saw. This is not hard.
Poor form, Sir Apprentice Baker. I hate to disappoint you, but there was, in fact, light in the area.
Huh?
Take a look at this. This is a drawing of the crime scene.
Oh, Larry.
Based on the witness's accounts as penned by the court illustrator.
The court illustrator?
Look carefully. This shows what the scene looked like at the time of the murder.
What? I guess no one caught the fact that she's holding a lantern in this photo, huh? An illustration of the highest quality, as always.
Now then, we have established that by that time the murder occurred, the sun had already set. And so naturally, the defendant was carrying a firelit lantern, as we can see.
And you don't see a contradiction there. A lantern?
Eureka! Yes, that's what I said.
Really? No one sees a problem here. Oh, please, you totally forgot.
To be honest, I did not imagine it would not be necessary to present this, but... My lord, here is the lantern in question. This is what was responsible for the light illuminating the area.
Very well. The court accepts it into evidence. Speaking of which, Inquisitor Barnum, is this in this drawing? The accused seems to be holding a milk bucket of sorts. What became of this?
That is a strange case indeed, my lord. That bucket seemingly disappeared from the murder scene.
The milk bucket disappeared, you say?
There has been talk of wolves living in the nearby forest. It's thought they often make off with the items.
You really think a wolf could have carried off a bucket of milk? Great, wolves that steal your stuff. Remind me to never set foot in that forest. I mean, buckets of liquid can be incredibly heavy. I don't know that a wolf would have been able to. Okay.
This is great, Nick. We got new evidence now.
Yes, I guess you're right.
You know, Nick, you really don't just look like some normal run-of-the-mill baker. I'd say you're more of a somewhat articulate run-of-the-mill baker. I think you might even have a knack for being a defender.
There's a clear contradiction somewhere in this testimony, and I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it's clear as day. Because, it was the knight that said that there was no fire in the area, right? Yeah, no trace of fire. Well, that's just wrong. And the evidence is the lantern.
Objection.
Proving otherwise. What is the matter, defender? Yeah, there we go. Now it's coming back to you. What is this feeling? I just felt the urge to shout out right from the bottom of my lungs while pointing my finger. Objection! I can't help but feel that's a word I've used quite a bit in the past. Yes. Yes, you have. That's it. I remember now. I remember everything. The Legal League of Attorneys Exchange, Espell's trial, and that strange book. This feeling, I feel like I can take on the world. Witness. Excuse me.
What's with the sun pointing?
I am a soon-to-be member of the Honorable Knights of the Inquisition. I accept your challenge. Have at you. You say that no fire was present at the scene of the crime, meaning the defendant must have used magic. Unfortunately for you, that is not the case.
What do you mean, Sir Apprentice Baker?
What I mean is that the defendant was, in fact, carrying a lantern containing fire! Those two rogues were actually burned by... Let's not stretch it that far, buddy. You really think a lantern that small with a flame that dim could have literally literally engulfed both of the... Really? You're gonna push it that far? That is the only logical explanation. I don't know about that one there, pal.
My, what a startling conclusion you've come to, Sir Apprentice Baker.
What do you mean?
The only logical explanation. Do you agree with this statement, honorable witnesses?
Being presumptuous for a man.
Oh, shut up, I don't care. This man.
Besides, how could one teeny tiny flame?
Yeah, okay. See, here's Mary coming in with the logic.
There were two of them. How could that flame engulf them so fast?
Furthermore, if they did burn as you claim they did, do you mean to suggest they were soaked in oil or something? Oh. Yeah, you did not think that through very well, buddy. Like, there's a contradiction to point out, so I did, but your train of logic there was not.
Well, Sir Blue Knight, it would seem you have bitten off more than you can chew.
Ah, I definitely didn't see that coming. How could you not have seen that coming?
What say you, my lord? Do you have any thoughts on the proceedings thus far?
I don't know why they... Was there a reason they gave Phoenix and Maya amnesia? Because I feel like they didn't need to do that. Alright. Given the testimony as we have heard it, this court has come to its conclusion that 'twas a truly gruesome and merciless act. An act for which only one thing could have been held responsible. The nefarious crime of magic. Sure. Makes sense. Wait just a second. You're all insane. Is this something you have forgotten to mention, Defender? Not exactly, Your Honor. It's just, I mean, you said magic. That can't be right, can it?
What are you suggesting, Sir Apprentice Baker? Witches use magic, which in turn brings about disaster. Such is the way of this world, is it not?
Well, yeah, that may seem to be the case, but no way is that actually possible. This court finds Espella Cantabella, the accused, charged with being a witch. Espella, a witch?
A witch's existence in this world is a crime in itself.
The ability to use and control magic is a criminal offense indeed. As such, any witch found practicing magic will be sentenced to death by fire.
No, you're wrong! I'm not a witch!
Sir Apprentice Baker,
I do not envy your current predicament. My lord, hand down your guilty verdict against this witch immediately.
Objection!
But there's no evidence to prove that any magic was really used.
Let's talk to Bread Boy. We all heard her cast the spell.
Huh?
That's right. Snowy and I heard it. Isn't that right, Precious? We heard that incantation quite clearly. That frightening voice was no mistaking. It's Estella's voice. Easy ears do not lie. I clearly heard an incantation most sinister. Ignaze it was.
Ignaze. Incantation.
Ignaze?
It's no good. I just can't wrap my head around this topsy-turvy otherworldly court. When does this game take place? Because this definitely isn't your first time dealing with well, if it's after Spirit of Justice, it's definitely not your first time grappling with some insane rules we gotta deal with. It appears so. The court finds the use of magic at the time of the murder to be an undeniable fact. Furthermore, the honorable witnesses have stated that they each heard an incantation being recited. The court finds no reason to delay its verdict any longer.
Nick, we have to do something.
I know, but what exactly can we say? How about we say, hey, we don't actually know how magic works. It's only fair to present us with the logic of how magic works in this universe so that we can have all the information appropriate to actually defend her. Here in this world, our sense of logic is completely useless. Well, that's not nice.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
Hold it.
What? Let me guess, Layton's gonna be here with the Grand Grimoire, and we're gonna get to... Yep. Here's Layton.
Your Honor, I request that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Yes, he's got the Grand Grimoire.
I have something I believe will be of use to the defense. A weapon of sorts.
That's...
The Grand Grimoire. All of this world's magic is contained within its pages. Without it, this trial cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion.
the Grand Grimoire.
Okay, I guess now all four of us are on the defense team. Okay. Thought the whole point is that it was supposed to be Phoenix and Maya took care of the court sections and these two took care of the investigations, but I guess they permeate the whole thing.
Meet again, Mr. White. Well now, it seems things are already afoot here. Although the real contest begins now, are you fully prepared?
So, are you here to help us?
Of course! The Professor always helps people in trouble! It is the duty of every gentleman, right, Professor?
Professor?
There is a saying that I find quite useful in situations such as this. There is a time for words and a time for action.
Right.
You have been working as a baker in this town up to now, have you not? I must say, I'm a little mystified. I'd have expected you to be more familiar with this world and its system of magic.
Yeah, how can I put this? I guess it's not quite the full story.
Is that so?
I kind of had an epiphany just now. I remembered all sorts of things, like I'm not actually a baker, and, well, how magic can't really exist.
Then it would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are not, in fact, a citizen of this town, is that correct?
Right, at least it seems that way.
However, for now, we have no option but to accept this world and its rules as a reality. Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to save Miss Canterbury.
But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe.
I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, it would seem magic does in fact exist in this world. Such a truth cannot be denied. Indeed, that is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon well suited for this witch trial. At the moment, you are tantamount to a knight without a sword.
I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually.
Right then, Mr. Wright, ask me how the Grand Grimoire works.
Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. We're gonna have to, oh, this is gonna be a thing. Oh, this is gonna be a thing. We're gonna have to, oh dear. Oh, what the? Oh, you can't be serious. Okay, this is gonna be a thing.
You'll be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial. Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked a spell Ignize for you.
Ignaze. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster, requires an incantation and scepter to... Okay, alright Barnum, tell me something. If you think this is what she did, then where's the scepter? Because she clearly wasn't holding a scepter in that picture you showed us.
Ignaze, that's his magic spell all the witnesses said they heard, right? Nick, you take a look at that spell!
All I have to do is press the Grand Grimoire button, huh?
I already read it. The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached its end. Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. The witness's testimony coupled with the illustration of the time of the murder makes it quite clear what must have occurred.
Yep. Did nobody look at this picture beforehand? She's clearly not holding a staff, or a scepter, or whatever. She's clearly not holding a scepter.
That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the cauldron may have crumbled.
Ah!
Is everything okay, Mr. Wright?
Yes.
It would seem that photographs do not exist in this world.
Photos don't exist? I guess that makes sense. The old time period and all.
The sketch drawn by the courthouse trainer, they were not...
You do not need to... I do not need to be lectured by Professor Layton, of all people, on how to spot contradictions, for God's sake. That actually is... This is actually really annoying me. Professor Layton. Oh my God, can't you just stay in your... Imagine if Phoenix Wright showed up in the puzzle sections like, hey, step aside, Professor Layton. You clearly need help to solve your puzzle, so I'll solve it for you. Imagine if that happened. Oh wait, that would never happen, because apparently Professor Layton can do everything and Phoenix Wright can do nothing, because that's just the rules of the Professor Layton universe.
If you could perhaps find it...
Yeah, I know, yes, I've played these games before. I know how this works, thank you. I spotted it about 1,000,000 years ago. Just let me... I'm gonna hope that I said point out contradiction. Defense request position, yeah, thanks, I got it. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection.
You are already out of time. All testimony and evidence given thus far have proven to be accurate.
No, remember when I pointed out that contradiction earlier? I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum. There's just one thing you overlooked, a piece of evidence within this book.
The Grand Grimoire. Absurd. I overlooked something. You are the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier.
You're right, I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now.
Interesting. You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you. The defender will now show us his supposed contradiction.
The quote written in the Grand Grimoire, somewhere there's a contradiction between these two, I gotta find it. It's clear as day. It's the fact that she's not holding... How do I point this out? You think maybe I could just present either of her hands? And that'll do the... Because, like, she's not holding a scepter in this hand.
Got it!
So, in theory, this should work. The contradiction's right here.
The hand of the accused? She seems to be holding a lantern.
What is your point? According to his tomb, using the spell Ignaze. requires the use of the witch's scepter, as well as an incantation, isn't that right?
Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as a talia magica.
If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take a look at Miss Cantabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of her hands? I probably could have presented either hand and it would have worked. Like, look at this. What? It's just like, I thought the whole point of this game was that Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright would combine their skill sets. Professor Layton would adventure around the town and investigate things and try to get to the bottom of what was going on in the town. And then Phoenix Wright and Maya would be in the courtroom defending people who were witches or being accused of being witches. And then that would culminate in one grand reveal of what's going on here. But apparently Professor Layton and Luke are just going to be by their side the whole time, and it's just like, what's the point? Like, at this point, you could have just had a Professor Layton game where Professor Layton is Phoenix Wright at this point.
You did it, Mr. Wright.
I don't need to be reassured. You do not need to be telling me about what's too obvious there, pal.
Eh? It would certainly appear that the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too well. That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker, but you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery at the side of the path.
Well, that would have been a great thing to mention, wouldn't it? Wait, okay, so oh my god, so your logic is, okay, so she was carrying, she still has to carry the staff. So you think your logic is that she planted the staff on the side of the road, knowing that she would be attempted to be mugged by Robs and Mugs. She would then drop the milk bucket or the lantern. She drops the lantern, picks up the staff from the side of the road, uses it, then throws it to the side. You gotta try harder than that, pal. Somehow I'm not surprised to hear that you fell, Gramps.
The scepter does seem to be carrying most sinister air. Indeed, my lord. However, the scepter will only work well in the hands of a witch with the incantation being said aloud.
Oh, that's too bad. I'll then try lighting some stuff on fire. Please don't look at me when you say that.
You see, there are two magic gems set in this scepter.
Magic gems, like a red gem and a white gem.
These gems each contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used.
Nick, please look at this page. Yes, I read that already, thanks. Is that the red magic gem?
Indeed. The red gem you see here is a spell ignite, and if you look carefully, you should notice that the scepter also has one more spell that can be used.
One more spell, that must be the white gem.
Mr. Wright, I found it! Here's a spell for the white magic gem!
Vanishing spell? Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Lovely. Wonderful. You know... Oh, great, we're dealing with... They're trying to apply the magic of Professor Layton to Phoenix Wright cases. This may not end well. I'm a little worried about this game now.
I see you managed to work it out on that crusty head of yours.
That's just... It can't be. The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demir had made it disappear. What is... Oh, okay.
That's right. In other words... the accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her own use of magic.
No. No way! She still has to hold the... Okay. So, I thought you were saying that she used a vanishing spell to make it disappear so that no one could have seen it after the fact. But she still has to hold the freaking staff, and her hands are both full. What...
Objection!
Hold on, please.
Is there a problem, Sir Baker?
Okay, I understand this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Campbell's possession has not yet been proven.
What are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker?
Isn't it obvious to talk about fingerprints? Supposing Miss Campbell did in fact handle a witch's scepter, then fingerprints should still be on it. What's with the silence?
You said fingerprints?
Oh, don't even try to tell me. They don't know what fingerprints are. They don't know what fingerprints are. Okay. Hey, Emma Sky, I think maybe never come to Labyrinthia. Your brain might just explode if you come to this town.
I haven't the slightest clue, my lord. It is the biggest first time in court after all.
Huh?
I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprinting does not yet exist.
What? I can't believe it.
As I have said already, best you head back to the bakery, lest you continue to serve this clone more of your half-baked ideas.
They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum.
Forensic science does not exist here. Instead, it's somewhere in which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Truly fascinating.
Okay, well, we can still point out logical contradictions within the, because you can't have magic without rules. You have to establish rules in order to have a competent magic system in any story. So all we have to do is just point out inconsistencies with those rules. For instance, the fact that she would still have to be holding a scepter and her hands were both full. Just way too many things about this I don't know about this world. But Layton, of course, knows all of them.
I believe you may be able to take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage.
Huh?
The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on this matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Better luck next time, Sir Apprentice Baker. Mayhap your next loaf will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection.
What? Layton? Because Layton is just so gosh diddly darn good at everything. Now he's gonna... Why is Phoenix here? Sincerely, why is Phoenix here if Layton can just do everything? What's that?
Who might you be? My name is Professor Layton. I'm a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic, is that correct? Indeed, through the magic spell Demir. If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim? What? You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Can the Inquisition fulfill the request presented by the gentleman with the unusual hat? The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender.
Come on, it's the Inquisition's job to prove a crime was committed.
As I thought. Indeed, it would appear that the accepted method of thinking in this world differs greatly from our own.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's not exactly been any different in Ace Attorney. In Ace Attorney, it's always been on the defense to prove everything, which is the inverse of how it actually is, but, you know, for the sake of the game, that's why it is. So it's not exactly far-fetched here. And again, Layton...
Inquisitor Barnum, sir. Should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony. Oh, please do. Please dig yourself a deeper hole.
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? A lovely array of bewitching lilies.
Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious? Witch's scepter, you say? Yes, I know of such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter.
What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject.
Why is he here? What is the point of Phoenix being here if Layton can just do everything?
Tell the court all you know regarding this Talia Magica.
Ugh. Well, we somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Dark Cat.
Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being.
I'm really annoyed by that. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other. Okay.
The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. I could look at her hand and it looked for certain that she was gripping something.
The witch is holding a scepter in her right hand. No, she wasn't. She was holding the lantern in her right hand.
I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding a visible scepter.
I don't think you know how this works. Eyes well. These old eyes don't see as well. But no, don't tell the court you're blind. My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade.
A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implications of that analogy on his vision.
Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste. I love it when characters from other franchises have to bail you out of situations you should be competent enough to handle on your own. That's my favorite. Okay, so you say that she was holding a scepter in her right hand. It's clearly not true. There was a lantern there. There's a high possibility that Miss Cantabella was not holding that scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident. What do you mean? What I mean, Inquisitor Barnum, is that the lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter. What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Apprentice Baker? This nylon's handle was around the accused's wrist. Yes, she also dropped it because it's covered in mud, which means she also would have dropped the scepter.
Objection!
Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it. What? The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you agree? When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud.
The lantern? Fell into the mud? Why, of course it makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy woey?
Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum, if she was holding the scepter at that time? That would mean that when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it.
Ah. That defender's managed to turn the thing around, even though he's just some baker. No way, pray the witch's accomplice no heed. They're just trying to trick you.
Just what is this?
Hold it!
One moment, please. Everyone, please listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the corporal what we clearly saw?
I'm getting awfully defensive there, aren't we, Kira?
It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand.
So you can understand. I mean, it's pretty obvious when I was looking at it. Mr. Wright? What is it, Mr. Layton? There's something about this witness. Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly?
Huh?
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud are you...
Yep. Okay. Oh, he even does the death slam. This man has no limits to his abilities. Oh my god. Layton, can you stop for like 5 seconds? We don't need you here. It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true, I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses?
Aha, now that you mention, I did notice something odd about you today. Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Kron is the basis that clouded my mind, and this in its place clarity.
Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair. Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple days ago.
You lost them? So, her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. White, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? Oh my god, stop! Stop holding my hand through this entire goddamn thing. I don't need your help. Go back to your own game, or go back to your own sections. We don't need you here. Yeah, great, she has glasses, thanks. Well, I believe there was nothing left to prove on this matter. At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession. Yeah, what now?
In just a moment, Snowy and I have more left to say.
That's right, my trusty sword of justice shall cut through the witch's treacherous lies.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
But should you be testifying if you can't see things?
Eureka, I remember now. Old age has a way to sneak up on me. I'm sure you must understand.
Yeah, I understand. You're all completely ridiculous. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft you all witnessed tonight. Witness testimony about the Talia Magica. The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as Lana, which means it must have been in her other hand. Oh, so now you say she would have risked holding the scepter with the bucket of milk which she could have spilled. Okay. Sure thing.
That milk bucket is lighter than it looks.
Ah, wait a minute, pal. Okay. Alright, Mary. How exactly do you know how do you know how heavy or light that bucket is if you didn't hold it yourself? The scepter was in her other hand, you say? Indeed, such a proposal is feasible. Samika? Yes, Your Honor? It is the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender. Huh? Well, no matter, but defender, you may begin your interrogation. Okay. About the Talia Magica. Well, this one's pretty clear-cut. Mira. I said Mira. Zero Thunder Dilemma's rubbing off on me. Mary, how do you know how heavy or light that bucket is?
Hold it!
Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
What is it now? It's the way I don't have all night, you know. Come on, then out with it.
I just have one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the bucket Miss Cantabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry?
Well... You see,
The girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Actually, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
You've seen it countless times before? That doesn't answer my question. You specifically said that the bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight you must have held that bucket yourself.
Aha!
Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
It's true. By that time, Robs and Mugs had already been burnt to ash. And it was the milk in that bucket the girl had been holding in her hand.
The milk?
Then, when the two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash at the bucket. As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
To make sure the milk was okay. Unbelievable, witness, you.
Ah? Well, it was just so wasteful. The thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I felt I just had to protect the milk, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me.
Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you?
That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene.
Oh my, you're scaring poor Snowy. Here, I brought the bucket with me anyway.
What? What? Absolutely, positively no way. First of all, that bucket does not match what was shown in that drawing. Second off, there is absolutely, positively no way that you could. I might have been able to buy the idea that you could have looped the scepter under the rope handle of a bucket. Absolutely, positively no way you can hold both the scepter and that bucket with that wooden handle that you just showed me. No chance in hell. That did not happen. Looks like that was one more piece of evidence for us. Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony? I wouldn't call it impressive. I did not see a smoke bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. Yeah. Well, you're right about one thing. It's clearly an illusion. It's clearly an illusion because this bucket is inconsistent with what we know.
Objection!
All of our testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern, therefore must have been in her other hand that was holding the bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. What do you mean? Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was, in fact, at the crime scene. And you'll also know something about this bucket. Taking a look at the court illustration, something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
This illustration was based on the eyewitness account, so a small discrepancy or two was— No, it's not a small discrepancy! Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there's a blatant contradiction presented in this illusion. I just said illusion. Well, it is an illusion, but illustration is what the word actually said. Admittedly, it does at first look possible that Miss Cantabelle was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibly goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle? That cannot be. Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's just say that that'd be a challenge. Put it simply, there is no way anyone could hold both the bucket and the scepter at once.
Wah. That must mean, Kali, you have the wrong bucket. We never lie when it comes to milk. That is the very bucket I took.
Kira's getting worried. Looks like the witnesses are as surprised about this as Barnum. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at once. Also, we have already established that she was not holding the scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Espella Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident. Order! Order, I said order. Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as judge of this court, I've never heard such an argument. Yeah, because everyone in this town's an idiot. These are but a paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. Your Honor— oh, I forgot you were here. What you just heard was logic. Okay, Edgeworth. Logic, you say?
What is with these two? They just silenced Inquisitor Barnum with mere words. Such foolishness must be some type of witchcraft. What do you think? Could they be witches?
It would seem that the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
Right, then let's take this chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried that if we keep this up, we'll all be joining Espella on a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection!
Most intriguing. A knight allows his soul to speak for him during battle. You have spoken with a sword of words. So be it. I too shall wield such a blade.
What do you mean?
Sublime Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours.
A hole?
According to the early testimony, it was believed the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud.
That's right.
While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean the accused was therefore unable to use magic.
What?
It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter. What do you mean, Inquisitor Bonham? It's very simple, my lord. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she's balancing the lantern and the milk bucket, and she did it while doing all. Okay. Ah, the witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Of course, yes, that must be it. That's not. What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the nightly knowledge of nightly knowledge of Inquisition. That's not. Okay. You realize that the lantern has to fall first in order for the flame to be there in the first place. So that's not your chain of events is wrong. Like we need to it's like we need to nail down the sequence of events. We need to nail down the order of things in which things happen. That Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared. Yeah, it sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he'd never even heard of logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us. This guy's no joke, that's for sure. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask that you lend us your aid once more. I request that you all testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell. Witnesses, you may begin your testimonies. Tell this court in your own words about the sequence of events which transpired tonight. Okay, I think this is going to be the final nail in the coffin. If we can nail this down, if we can catch him up here, we're good.
Of course, the lantern fell to the ground at the incantation of Ignace. Sploosh.
Sploosh? Can you please stop being flowery with your language and just tell me what you saw?
I'm as sure as snowy as white. I made certain to keep my eyes peeled in that milk bucket after all. Besides, how can you be certain the lantern is fell just because it has a little mud on it?
These eyes do not lie. I saw the lantern in the accused's hand when the incantation was uttered. Figure their testimonies are all over the place now. These 4 testimonies, they are most interesting. The witnesses all saw the same thing, and yet, people's memories are evidently quite fickle. They can never be a truly reliable source. You almost tell that to every single person who plays Among Us.
Well then, Professor, with enough poking and prodding, I bet we can really cause the testimonies to crumble.
Of course, we need to exploit their flickled memories to turn this thing around. Oh yeah, Maya's here. Remember Maya? I remember Maya. Remember her? She was here before Layton and Luke showed up.
We got this, Nick. We'll press them so hard they won't even remember what they had for breakfast.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Now, Sir Bacon, you may begin your interrogation. Cross-examination. Alright, wordsmith. Can you please be more specific with what the sploosh is?
Hold it!
I mean, I can guess, but I need you to say it. The lantern fell after the incantation. Are you positive about that?
I say I'm positive that I am positive. I heard her voice in that sploosh.
That sploosh was the sound of the lantern hitting the ground?
Indeed. But of course, do you see?
But if you look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. You specifically said you heard a sploosh, so did you have heard the sound of the glass shattering when it hit the ground?
The sound of glass shattering? No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift.
Oh? Oh, whoa, wait, did you just remember something? No recollection? Wait, I think Mary just remembered something because Wordsmith says something. That's cool. That's cool. You saying one thing to one person causes another person to... That's cool. I really like this new mechanic. It sucks that Layton's here, and he's just dominating everything because he's Professor Layton. But this new cross-examination group testimony thing is really cool.
Huh? You mean us? You startled us, didn't you, Snowy? I am as sure as Snowy is white. I made certain to keep my eyes peeled in the milk bucket after all.
Okay, so can we do anything with that? I don't get it. I'm clearly supposed to do something here. But I can't change who I'm questioning mid-testimony. But it's so odd. I have to do something here. What am I missing?
What do you think, Nick? Did you notice anything fishy?
Yeah, possibly. I think there may be something I can use.
Really? Wow, I didn't hear anything special.
There was definitely something out of place in that one testimony. It was something I haven't noticed in many other witnesses so far. Appears you may have found something, Mr. Wright. A full witness cross-examination is something I've never done before. But then, maybe there's another way I should be tackling this. I believe it is worth trusting intuition, Mr. Wright. Okay, got it. Alright, let's try pressing that old man one more time. Yeah, I already did that. I already tried that, and nothing happened.
Hold it!
I can't do anything because I can't move. I can't switch the person that's testifying, or the person I'm cross-examining, mid-thing, so I can't. I'm clearly supposed to be able to do something, but like when the exclamation point pops up, I'm just stuck here.
Hold it!
What?
Okay. So I had to progress through the entire testimony once, then do it a second time, so that Layton can be like, hey, trust your intuitions, and then it'll unlock. Outstanding. Wonderful.
But old Grammy didn't say anything weird.
Maya, it's not the old guy that said something weird. It's the person next to him.
Next to him? Oh, look at that, Professor, that goat lady. She looks really deep in thought.
It would seem she has noticed something odd. Oh, thanks, Layton. I never would have noticed. I never would have noticed.
That's right. These examinations have 4 witnesses. Hey, Nick, it looks like we're not the only ones paying attention to the testimonies.
You're right, which means if they're all listening to each other's testimonies, correct, Mr. Wright. Each witness is fully aware of themselves and their own actions when in the middle of their own testimonies. However, it is while listening to the testimonies of others that the witnesses may sometimes reveal the most valuable information. I see. It's habitual. They can't tell we're doing it, but I can. I'm going to use it to turn the tide back in our favor. Wait, what? Oh, wait. So do you mean that Phoenix can actually spot when witnesses have weird little nervous tics and notice something without having to have an entire gimmick dedicated to it? Oh, wow. What a concept. Mr. Wright, could I draw your attention to the touchscreen? The touchscreen? Sliding the magnifying glass. Oh, wonderful. Glad I had to... You know, you could have shown me this after the first testimony, but no, I had to go through the whole thing once already. Wonderful. Great. Lovely. Okay.
What are you waiting for, Nick? Let's give it a shot. I would try questioning the goat lady next to the old graybeard.
Alright, all I have to do is slide the magnifying glass over to the witness. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and drag it over and see how this goes. Okay, drag it over here and question. Hang on. Alright, we got hang on now. Excuse me, Miss Mary?
Oh, do you mean us? But Snowy and I have nothing else left to say.
I knew it. I caught it completely by surprise. Mr. Worsman just gave his testimony. He told us all about the sound he heard when the lantern fell to the ground. Mr. Worsman didn't seem too sure, but I wonder if you might have happened to have something to say about this.
Huh? Well, that's... Is that all right, Sir Barnum? May we answer the question?
Do what you will, madam. There's no need for formalities. Huh?
We'll try and explain, won't we, Snowy? The truth is, we did hear something. That is to say, we heard the sound of the lantern's glass shattering.
Oh, would you look at that? Well, look whose entire case just went up in smoke.
It quite startled us, didn't it, Snowy dear? I looked in the direction of the sound, but I couldn't see anything, let alone the girl with those 2 thieves. It was a tad dark, after all.
When the glass shattered, the flame inside must have gone out, and she could not see them. That seems to be the gist of it.
Then, as I peered into the darkness, I heard it.
You heard it? What did you hear exactly?
You know, that. I heard... the incantation for the spell Ignace.
What did you just say? Now, hold it right there, witness.
Yes, my lord.
The glass shattered after when the lantern fell. Then after that, you heard the incantation for the spell Ignace. Do you swear to this cohort that is without a doubt correct?
Yes. Maybe. I think. How about my testimony? What if my oratorical observation? The blasted spell like days occurred first, then the lantern plummeted to the ground. I heard no such thing. There was no sound of shattering glass.
Absurd. Simply absurd. So the lantern fell and the glass shattered, and it does not change the very fact that this girl's a witch. What a helpful observation. I hate to disappoint you, but that's not quite the case. In fact, this testimony changes things a lot, wouldn't you agree, Inquisitor Barnum? What is the meaning of this? Let's go over what we know so far. In order for a witch to use any magic, they must be holding a witch's scepter. And yet, none of the 4 witnesses saw the defendant holding a scepter of any kind. That's because the scepter was made to distribute the spell to Demir, correct? At the time of the crime, the 2 victims grabbed Mrs. Canterbury's arm, causing her to drop the lantern to the ground. If at the time she was in fact holding an invisible scepter, then the scepter must have fallen when she dropped the lantern. Now, let's say hypothetically that Mrs. Canterbury really is a witch. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. However, as a witness was very interested in her testimony, she heard the incantation for Ignace after hearing the lantern's glass shatter. You do all understand what this means, don't you? It means that Miss Cantabella, the supposed witch you've locked up, could not possibly have cast any magic. Therefore, the defendant in Espella Cantabella... Oh, what is this? Oh! Now this is a pursuit theme. Here we go. The defendant's Espella Cantabella is clearly no way, shape, or form a witch. Oh, okay. Worthless just took off like a rocket ship.
Such frivolity. That's what you're insinuating. You really think she's not a witch? Such nonsense. Didn't you really listen to my testimony?
We did, but you're wrong. There's no glass shattering.
Are you calling me a liar, mister? You couldn't even see the lantern when it was plain as day.
Oh my god. The orchestra. The orchestra is so good.
What ridiculous claims all of you?
Oh, hush. Take your slow little toy sword and go back to playing pretend, Sir Knight.
Witness, this is a court of law, not a playground. Must I remind you of the importance of these proceedings, witches and their magic threaten our fair town of Labyrinthia. Your words here today could decide the fate of every single citizen within our walls, do you understand? As such, I expect each of you to take your role seriously and testify honestly about what you saw. In all my days as judge of this court, I've never seen such behavior. Behavior that leaves a cloud of doubt over the credibility of each of your testimonies. Indeed, my lord, quite a miserable set of witnesses this lot. I see. It would appear that this trial has come to a sudden halt. Huh? So that must mean, quite right. It means you have won this trial, Mr. White. We've won. I can hardly believe the situation we have found ourselves in. I did not anticipate this trial ending with such a strange turn of events. But due to these witnesses' dubious credibility, I can see no reason to continue. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Okay, you know what? It may not have played for very long, but that freaking pursuit theme was awesome.
As you wish, my lord.
What's going on? They're actually gonna let this witch run free through the town? Curses, and it wasn't for that witch and her friends.
Oh my god, these people are insufferable.
Hold it!
What?
Wait a blooming second. This trial ain't even close to being over.
Well, let's get to hear the pursuit theme again.
Not before I take the stand to testify.
And who might you be? Also, Luke isn't even...
Order! Who is this buffoon?
Luke isn't even tall enough to see over the defense bench. What?
Behold! Who am I, you ask? Who am I? Why? I'm the man that's gonna single-handedly save this trial on the fifth witness!
Say, what? Huh?
What?
Even Barnum didn't see this one coming.
Just as I thought, this trial was going down to the drain before I got here. Okay, you lot assemble. We need a strategy meeting ASAP.
A strategy meeting to confirm. You shouldn't need a strategy. You shouldn't need to talk strategy about what you saw. It's what you saw. Very simple.
We can't give up now, everyone.
It's come down to this. To arms, everyone. We shall do battle against that baker and that hat seller. I can't believe this. What the heck is going on? Truly fascinating. It seems a new witness is taking the stand. What's more, he appears to be quite the formidable witness. Circle of friendship, apparently. This trial is still far from over. Okay. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. Music aside, because obviously the music was freaking fantastic. The group testimony. It's stupid that I had to go through the testimony 3 times before the game eventually said, oh, by the way, you can switch people while you're cross-examining. But aside from that, the group testimony mechanic is freaking incredible. And then, of course, I hate the fact that Layton and Luke are here. This should be Phoenix and Maya's time to shine, not the time for Luke and Layton to save their asses every time. But aside from that, this is awesome so far. I can't wait to keep playing. That'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next episode. Catch you all tomorrow for some more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Goodbye.